Yo, what's up guys, it's TBAG. It's been a while since I've just sat down and wrote a script for a video. You know, the last 4 have all been live commentaries, which I absolutely love doing by the way, and it seems like you guys also enjoy that, so a big thank you for the support. But today I decided we're just gonna do a relaxed, laid-back video about a very exciting topic, and that is about the next Battlefield game, or as I'm gonna call it, Battlefield 2020. Now, it is not known when the next Battlefield game will release. There are some rumors and potential leaks and stuff like that, but nothing is 100% confirmed, so I'm just gonna call it Battlefield 2020. Now, the rumors I'm referring to are obviously about the PlayStation 5 and Battlefield Bad Company 3 being a launch title for the console, whenever that will be. I predict personally towards the end of 2020 or even 2021, but nevertheless, regardless of the leaks and rumors, I'm not diving too deep into that in this video. Now, in this video, I'm gonna talk about 10 things that we want to see in the next Battlefield game, whether it be Bad Company 3 or Battlefield 6 or anything like that. These are 10 things that we want to see either return to the game, changed, or added to the game. So to kick things off with number 10, the campaign. Now, do we want a campaign for the next Battlefield game? If it is gonna be Battlefield Bad Company 3, then yes, we 100% want a campaign. You know, to see Preston, Sergeant Redford, Sweetwater and Haggard return would be amazing. Battlefield Bad Company 1 and Bad Company 2 both had a very interesting, not so serious, fun campaign, and the fans absolutely loved it. So it would be great to see that again, preferably with the original voice actors, but I don't know, it's been almost 10 years since Battlefield Bad Company 2, so you never know if that's possible. However, I do remember that Battlefield Bad Company 2 ended on a cliffhanger with the Russians invading through Alaska. However, if the next Battlefield game is not gonna be Battlefield Bad Company 3, then perhaps adding a campaign might not be the best of ideas. See, I kinda like the campaign in Battlefield 1, you know, the war stories were pretty cool, and they did it very nicely. In Battlefield 5, however, I think all of the war stories were complete garbage, except for the Last Tiger. So on the one hand, I don't want to see them wasting resources on a campaign that's gonna be trash anyway. I'd much rather see them putting more effort into the multiplayer if that's the case. But on the other hand, I don't want to give EA the satisfaction of having an excuse for not adding a single player campaign to a $60 game. I do know that the community is kinda split over this, so be sure to let me know down in the comments. Do you want to see a campaign in the next Battlefield game? Yes or no? For number 9, the gunplay. Obviously a very important subject of any Battlefield game, perhaps the most important one actually. I feel like despite all the crap surrounding Battlefield 5, it actually does have one of the best gunplays of any Battlefield game out there. So for the next Battlefield game, I hope it's gonna be either like Battlefield 5 or perhaps even Battlefield 4. You know, you can't go wrong with Battlefield 4 as long as it's not gonna be like Battlefield 1. You know, with the whole random bullet deviation mechanic. I really don't like that, you guys know that, so please don't do that. For number 8, the setting. I'm pretty sure I speak for the whole community when I say that we do not want another World War game. Like, World War I was done extremely well in Battlefield 1. It introduced a war that not many people actually knew all that much about back then. I can honestly say I learned a lot about the Great War because of Battlefield 1. And the Battlefield game after, Battlefield 5, was or is set in the Second World War. Now, World War II is obviously where it all began for Battlefield, back with Battlefield 1942, but many people, including myself, don't really get that World War II feeling in Battlefield 5 at the moment. I mean, let's be honest, some of the more iconic locations, battles and even weaponry are currently not in the game. Where's the M1 Garand, where's the Mosin, you know, where's the Japanese Imperial Army and the Soviets and stuff like that, Iwo Jima, Wake Island. So I think, and I've seen many people say this, for the next Battlefield game, we want a modern setting again. That way you have a lot more freedom with literally everything. You know, you can make another fictional war with Russia and China like we had in Battlefield 4. Perhaps even World War 3. Heck, you can put as many female soldiers in the game as you'd like, because let's be honest, we all know they desperately want to do that, even though the next Battlefield game is supposedly developed by DICE LA and not DICE Sweden. But in my honest opinion, if it's not gonna be a modern shooter, I really would like to see a Vietnam/Cold War era. In my interview with Almighty Dag, the initial leaker for Battlefield 5 and Bad Company 3, he did mention a Cold War era setting for the game, so who knows. By the way, if you want to see that interview, I'll link it down below. Take everything he says in that interview with a grain of salt. It is very interesting though, you can find the link down below. For number 7, and this one is gonna be controversial, Battle Royale. Now, I know a lot of people aren't really feeling Firestorm at the moment in Battlefield 5, but I gotta be honest, I really enjoy it. It has a lot of potential, so for the next Battlefield game, I don't mind if they have another Battle Royale game mode, kinda like Firestorm 2 perhaps. If they manage to make it better, with more players, more content, more things to do, I think it might be amazing, especially if it is set in modern times. Plus, let's be honest, Battle Royale is still very popular and it will help sell a lot of copies. Number 6. Pacing. Now this is a tricky one. With the current gaming climate, it's not easy to make a slower paced first person shooter. Battlefield 5 for one is very fast paced, from the time to kill to the movement, everything feels fast paced. But if you look at, for example, Battlefield Bad Company 2, just an example, totally not related to Bad Company 3, that game was very slow paced compared to current shooters. One way of telling is the time to kill, running speed, transition speed and animation speed. All those things were much slower in Battlefield Bad Company 2, so it ended up feeling more heavy, but in a good way. It didn't feel like spawn, kill, die, 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 and repeat. It felt more methodical. So hopefully we can see that in the next Battlefield game. Number 5. Player count. Battlefield, as far as I know, never had a player count over 64 on a single server. 64 is kinda iconic in a way for the franchise. Even in Firestorm, the maximum number of players in one lobby is 64, even though I really think they should add more. But anyway, so what I hope to see for the next Battlefield game is a big step forward in player count. Now, if the rumors are true and the next Battlefield game will release with the next generation of consoles, having more than 64 players shouldn't be that much of a problem. I think the maximum number of players on the previous generation of consoles, so the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, were something like 32 or 24 or something like that. And then finally, with the current generation of consoles, it got bumped up to 64, just like PC had all those years. Now that we are heading towards better consoles and hopefully better optimization for the next Battlefield game, why not increase the player count to, let's say, 80 or 92 or even over 100. Imagine an all-out war on a huge map with tons of players. Kinda reminds me of MAG from back in the day. Comment down below if you remember that game. But anyway, all things considered, 64 is not a bad number. It all depends how everything is designed around it. So it doesn't really matter that much, but it would be cool. Number 4, maps. I think the maps in Battlefield 5 are horrendous. Like, really, really bad. I hate them. So far we only have 10 maps in Battlefield 5, and out of those 10 maps, I only really enjoy 2 of them. Those are Rotterdam and Aerodrome, which is a shame because both of those maps don't even have aerial vehicles. Battlefield 1 ended up with, I believe, somewhere around 30 maps towards the end of its life cycle, and in my opinion there were some great ones, but again the majority weren't too great. And I gotta be honest, Battlefield 4 also didn't have too many great maps. The last time we truly saw great map design in a Battlefield game was in Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3 and the Bad Company series had amazing maps, and I would like to see the return of that in the next Battlefield game. Let me know what you think of the current maps we have in Battlefield 5. Number 3, no attrition system. I'm sorry, they tried, they rolled the dice with this one. Get it? Dice. And in my opinion, it did not work. The whole attrition mechanic makes the flow of the game less enjoyable. You can only med up once if you're not close to a medic. You don't get rewarded for having a firefight with an enemy. If you win, you often end up with less health that you cannot regenerate to 100 again. So it all feels counterintuitive for a Battlefield game in this day and age. It promotes camping. In some cases, the weapon balance goes out of the window. Yeah, I don't really like it, and I've seen many people complain about it recently, including people that initially liked it. So no more attrition system in the next Battlefield game, please. Number 2, fun game modes. I want my fun game modes back. I've talked about this many times. Where are the fun game modes that can break the staleness every once in a while? Game modes like air superiority, capture the flag, and of course my personal favorite, Gunmaster. These things are in Battlefield 4 and were honestly so much fun. I understand there should be a bigger focus on things like rush or conquest and operations and stuff like that, but there are plenty of people who enjoy a game of Gunmaster once in a while. I'm not saying that the next Battlefield game should be, saturated with tons of different game modes, but maybe a weekly rotation with some of the party-like game modes that I just mentioned. Kinda like how Fortnite does it. One time they've had 50 versus 50, then the next time they've had the floor is lava or something like that, you name it. Most of them weren't permanent, but they rotated in and out of the game every couple of weeks. It keeps things fresh, it offers more diversity to the game, and that way the game doesn't get bloated with tons of game modes like we had in Battlefield 4. And now finally, for number 1, destruction. Now I know there is destruction in Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5, but when was the last time that destruction was really a selling point of a Battlefield game? I remember in Battlefield Bad Company 2 where you could literally demolish a whole building. You know, same for Battlefield 4 in some places, but with recent Battlefield titles that hasn't really been the case. And that's weird considering that was the whole design of the Frostbite engine initially. I would like to see a bigger emphasis on destruction with the next Battlefield game. What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments. I'm really interested in seeing what you guys want to see in the next Battlefield game, whether it be Battlefield Bad Company 3 or Battlefield 6 or whatever. What do you guys want to see? Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. New Firestorm Challenge videos are coming soon, and with that being said, I see you guys next time.